Hello my pretties, Nyxarity here, and welcome to another Vidtober, what was I calling it, extravaganza, episode, whatever you would like to call it. Today I'm going to be talking about October or Halloween video moviethons. So, basically the kinds of movies that I like to watch for either the entire month of October, or just kind of for Halloween. Which is most of the month of October, if you're getting the kind of drift from these videos. But anyway, so there are a couple of categories that I'd like to point out. The things that I've, watched since, my childhood kind of videos. Then we've got the classics, things like Stephen King movies. Actually, spoiler alert, it's mostly Stephen King movies. And then a couple of things that I found in recent years on Netflix. They're B-movies. Bear with me, okay? So, first off, the movies that I've kind of, either always watched as a kid or things that would be good for, kids or, the whole family kind of movies. Number one favorite, if you haven't guessed this already, Hocus Pocus. Okay? I have been watching that movie every year around the time of Halloween for so long, I don't even remember how long ago I started watching it. Probably pretty darn close to when it came out. Because, as you may have learned before, I was raised in a very Christian household, but we were okay with things like Harry Potter and witches and wizards, as long as you understood that it was just pretend and not real things like summoning dark arts, blah blah blah. But, so, Hocus Pocus, really enjoyed that. It is, I think, one of the things that actually has defined my love for Halloween over the years. Just because of the beautiful messages that it sends and the kookiness that goes on. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you watch it. It's fun. If you have seen it, you don't like it, that's okay too. We all have our own tastes. But if you don't like it, I would love to hear why down below, because I honestly have not yet met a person that doesn't like the movie Hocus Pocus. Love to hear all sides of things. The other movie that I've watched for a fair amount of time, just about every October Halloween-y spooky time in my life, would be The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. Everybody's heard it. It's a ride at Disneyland. Whatever. It's not the greatest of movies, I'm gonna be the first to admit that. Don't necessarily enjoy it for its movie value. What I do enjoy it for is the ghosts and the mystery and the intrigue. Well, sorry that list was so short, because this is the end of that. Movies that I would watch as a kid for Halloween didn't really happen a whole lot. I was only honestly introduced, well, not introduced, but I only actually watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, I think 2 years ago. To put it into perspective for you, I turned 24 in a week. But yeah, so I unfortunately can't really give you an insight into The Nightmare Before Christmas, given that I think, watched it twice in my entire life. And I didn't get to see it until my adulthood, so it didn't hold as much significant value for me. So I don't know if that had any impact on me not necessarily enjoying it. I mean, it's a great movie. I love all Tim Burton things, which, by the way, is a grouping of movies you should totally watch for October and Halloween, because Tim Burton is all things creepy, spooky, and awesome. Lots of movies in that list, so I'm not even gonna list them, just Tim Burton movies. Tim Burton movies. But, so yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, I mean, if you've got young kids, or medium-aged kids, they're not quite adults yet, but they're not quite out of that annoying phase, yeah, that's a good movie for them. Maybe not necessarily, a whole family enjoyment, unless it's, a tradition for you, but that's just my take on things. So, the next section I want to talk to you about is Netflix. Okay? Bear with me, most of these are B-movies. I've only gathered 2 of them that I want to talk in any detail about. But, Netflix, around this time of year, has this interesting collection of things that they think are Halloween worthy. And what do? They put them under the title horror. None of these are horror movies. Some of them border on suspenseful. None of them are horror movies. They just need a section, just a genre of Halloween. Honestly, that's what they need to do. But there are a couple that were so bad, that you have to watch them. Honestly. And hopefully without spoiling too much of either of these movies, I would like to go forth and give you very little synopsis type things so that you can go watch them. And I have checked, and they are both on Netflix as of, like, right now. Given that some movies decide to disappear off of Netflix in 24 hours, it may not be by the time you actually view this video. But they're on there right now. First one is Killer Mermaid. By the picture that you should see somewhere on the screen with me right now, this is the movie cover. This looks so much cooler than the movie actually is. Like, you don't even know. Okay, so, brief synopsis. Group of teenagers. As in all horror movies. Group of teenagers, I believe they're on some sort of vacation. And the sailors, I think they might be in Greece, if I remember correctly. But they're near water that looks fairly, like, Greek. You know, town's up a hill. Everything's white. Buildings, I mean, not people. I think, actually, you know, I'm not entirely sure. No, I'm pretty sure because they're like a B, maybe a C movie, they've probably got a black friend. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, so, of course, they're having fun, they're drunk, whatever. And these sailors, or whatever, start talking about how people have disappeared, blah, 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 blah. So, of course, they have to go check it out. Of course, thinking there's no nothing going on here. They're just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go check out this island thing. I think it's like an old, like a prison used in like the First World War or earlier. But things go awry, and go figure, it's because of a killer mermaid. I hope this doesn't spoil anything for anyone, so I'm going to input spoiler alert here, just to be safe. Spoiler alerts, please don't kill me. You don't actually see this mermaid. I think they were going for a Jaws type suspenseful something. But you don't actually see anything dealing with the mermaid other than her, like, dragging people into the water. And you don't even see that from, like, her perspective. It's just people going to the water. They don't come out. Maybe sometimes there's blood. But you don't see the mermaid until at least 3/4 of the way through the movie. I think, honestly, it's like the last 15 minutes of the movie that it even pertains to mermaids. And, again, not to spoiler alert anything, but the end of the movie sets it up for there to be, like, a sequel. But I can't imagine that this movie ever did well enough for them to have filmed a sequel. And if somehow there is a sequel that I have missed, someone please send me a link or just the movie title, because it's so bad I need to see another one. Almost like Sharknado, but Sharknado was just so bad that you just want it to stop existing. And yet somehow there's many of them. One of them is in space. I'm off topic. So the second movie that I really recommend that's so bad it's good is All Cheerleaders Must Die. Yes, my friends and I clicked on this hoping to see just cheerleaders drop off the face of the earth. Because in movies, cheerleaders are the peppiest, most irritating things that, like, literally could exist. Okay? But, anyway. So, all cheerleaders must die. Hope this isn't spoiling anything for anybody, but spoiler alert, cheerleaders die. And the hilarity is what happens afterwards. Because it's kind of a zombie, vampire-related kind of something. I've seen the movie like 3 times. I don't know. That's how bad this is. But the entertaining part is that you get to see cheerleaders with, like, real personalities while trying to maintain their pre-death, peppy, cheery cheerleaderness. Yeah. That's all you need to know. You just need to go watch it and see for yourselves. Grab some popcorn if popcorn's your thing. If it's not your thing, grab something to throw at your friends because you want it's one of those movies where you want to have a scene happen and you want to just toss popcorn everywhere. Like in the commercials in the movies. Nobody actually does that, by the way. Unless you're somebody that does that, and I hope to God it's because you're actually scared of a jump scare. Because if not, that's just rude. But anyway, those are the best of the Netflix B/ maybe borderline C movies that I can recommend for you as of right now. I will go ahead and put more titles in the description if I find any more that you guys need to see. I will also put all of the titles of any of the movies that I've talked about in the description, so that if you guys get to the end of this video, if you stayed this long so far, you get to the end of this video and you just want a list of your own, it's in the description down below, don't worry about it. But anyway, so next we have the classics. Mostly Stephen King. My favorites are Cujo and Carrie, because they're so relatable for just kind of everybody involved. Yeah? Anything else Stephen King related? But literally anything Stephen King related. If you're looking for horror, Halloween, that's what you gotta do. The other things that I would suggest: anything vampire, anything zombie, anything werewolf. Those are the classics. I have no list for you, because I did not want to spend my time looking up all of the different things that I could have ever possibly seen in my life. Because lots of them overlap. There was one that I vaguely remember that had the star from Buffy. I've never learned her name. I'm very sorry, because I enjoyed Buffy. But she was some sort of cheerleader in, like, some sort of zombie vampire werewolf apocalypse or something. I don't even remember. It's just one of those things you keep on in the background on Netflix while you're having your party so that you can just turn over to the screen and just laugh at it. Or stare in horror at whatever somebody randomly decided to put on your television. But yeah. If you guys aren't into movies and you're looking for more episodic type things, didn't really look up anything to talk about specifically, but Buffy came up. So Buffy. And if you're not living in a hole, Walking Dead, you know that. Zombies. Nothing really scary happens anymore in vampire TV shows. But if you're looking for something vampire related, you haven't discovered the Vampire Diaries, I mean, there's vampires. There's also an offshoot, which I would recommend over Vampire Diaries, called The Originals. Vampires, werewolves, hybrids. Witches are fun. The Witches of East End is one that's a little more like housewives and their secret lives of, like, witchery type thing, but still has an interesting plotline. There's also, oh gosh, what is it called? I think it's called Salem. I've just recently started watching this. And it's basically like somebody's take on why the Salem witch trials happened. I'm literally 2 episodes in, and it's pretty good. It's not necessarily something that I'm gonna binge watch, but it's good. well, I think that's it for my TV show recommendations. There are a couple other things you can find on Netflix, of course. Everybody's taste is a little bit different. But those are just kind of my takes for your movies and TV preferences for the month of October, or the month of Halloween, as I generally like to celebrate. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead and leave some comments down below about your favorite movies, your tradition movies. If you've found a B movie that sucks ass so hard the entire world needs to see it, please don't put Sharknado in there. I will hate you forever. It had enough of a hook to get you to watch it. The second one had enough of me intrigued to figure out how the hell they made a sequel. It ended there. I will never watch it again. I do not recommend anyone else watch it. And somehow there are more. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and leave those comments down below. And subscribe for more great content. Stick around for more Vidtober videos and episodes coming, one every day this month. Thanks again so much, guys. This is Nyxarity signing off. I'll see you lovelies next time. Bye-bye. Like, I think I was 13 or 14 years old when I got to carve my first jack-o'-lantern, if that gives you guys a perspective. We didn't celebrate Halloween. We had harvest festivals, which were usually held